She caught her
I
billionaire
believe this
husband
belongs
with his
to
mistress,
you.
served him divorce papers.
Sign the papers.
One
We're
secret
done.
left him on his knees. Hi, my beautiful family. Before we continue, let's pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you for every beautiful soul watching today. Please bless every home with peace, good health, love, protection, and abundant favor. Heal every broken heart, strengthen every family, and guide us in all that we do. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. If this prayer blessed you, please like this video and write Amen in the comments. Now I have some wonderful news to share with my beautiful family. God has blessed me with a precious granddaughter, and our hearts are overflowing with joy and gratitude. Now I need your help. Please suggest a beautiful name for my little princess in the comments. I can't wait to read your wonderful ideas, and who knows, we might choose the name you suggest. May God richly bless you and your family. Woke at 5 in the morning the way she always did. No alarm needed. 14 years of marriage had trained her body to rise before dawn, to have coffee ready when Dwayne stumbled downstairs, to pack his lunch before he remembered he needed one. She turned her head on the pillow and studied her husband's face in the darkness. He looked peaceful in sleep. Handsome still, even at 42, with silver threading through his temples that made him look distinguished rather than old. His jaw was strong, his lips slightly parted. She reached out and traced the line of his cheekbone with one finger, careful not to wake him. After all these years, she still felt lucky. Lucky that this man had chosen her. Lucky that they had survived his mother's cancer, her father's death, the lean years when they ate pasta 6 nights a week so Dwayne could finish his MBA. Lucky that they had 2 beautiful children sleeping down the hall. Lucky that all the sacrifice, all the hard years, had led to this moment of stability and comfort. Sharon slipped out of bed, pulled on her robe, and padded downstairs to the kitchen. The house was silent except for the soft hum of the refrigerator. She started the coffee maker and stood at the window, watching the sky lighten from black to deep blue. December 19th, less than a week until Christmas. The tree they had decorated together last weekend stood in the corner of the living room, lights twinkling on a timer. Presents were already wrapped and hidden in the garage. Maya had asked for art supplies and books. Jordan wanted the new gaming system all his friends had. Sharon had bought Dwayne a leather messenger bag for work because his old one was falling apart and he refused to replace it himself. Always taking care of everyone else, her mother had said last week with that edge in her voice. When do you take care of you? Sharon pushed the thought away. She liked taking care of her family. What was wrong with that? The coffee finished brewing and she poured 2 cups. She pulled out the ingredients for Dwayne's lunch. Turkey sandwich on wheat bread, no mayonnaise, apple slices, the protein bar he liked. She packed it all into his lunch bag and then pulled out a sticky note, writing in her neat handwriting, "Kick ass in your meeting today. I believe in you. Love you forever, S." She had been writing notes like this for 14 years, little reminders that someone was thinking of him, supporting him, believing in him. Morning, beautiful. Sharon turned to find Dwayne standing in the doorway, wearing only his pajama pants, his chest bare. He looked good. He had been working out more lately, claiming the stress of the upcoming merger deal was getting to him, and he needed an outlet. Morning, baby. She walked over and kissed him, tasting sleep on his lips. Coffee's ready. I made your lunch. He pulled her close, his hands sliding down to her hips. What did I do to deserve you? You married me, she said, smiling against his mouth. Best decision you ever made. Damn right. He kissed her again, deeper this time, and Sharon felt that familiar warmth spread through her chest. After all these years, he could still make her feel wanted. They drank coffee together at the kitchen table, discussing the day ahead. Dwayne had a major presentation for the pharmaceutical merger he had been working on. If it went well, there might be a promotion to executive VP. More money, more security, everything they had worked toward. You nervous? Sharon asked. A little, but I know this deal inside and out. I've got this. He reached across the table and took her hand. Couldn't have done it without you, Shah. All those nights you handled everything so I could work late. All the times you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Sharon squeezed his hand. That's what partners do. Still, I'm a lucky man. He glanced at his watch and stood. I need to shower and get moving. Traffic's going to be hell. Sharon watched him walk away, noticing something she hadn't before. He was walking differently, lighter, like a man with a secret that made him happy. She dismissed the thought. He was excited about the presentation, that was all. Upstairs, she heard the shower turn on, then off, then on again. That was odd. Dwayne never interrupted his showers. Sharon shook her head. She was being paranoid. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind again. That man works too much. You never know where he really is. But Sharon did know. She trusted Dwayne completely. They had built this life together. They were a team. By 7:30, the house was alive with chaos. Maya stumbled downstairs in her school uniform, earbuds in, barely acknowledging anyone. Jordan bounced into the kitchen, asking if he could have pancakes, even though they were having cereal. It's Thursday, baby. Pancakes are for weekends. But Mom, cereal, now. Dwayne came downstairs in his suit, smelling like expensive cologne. Sharon noticed it immediately. Is that new? She asked. What? Your cologne? I don't recognize it. Dwayne barely paused. Same one I always wear? But it wasn't. Sharon knew his cologne. She had bought him the same bottle for 3 years running. This was different, spicier, more expensive smelling. Smells nice, she said carefully. Dwayne kissed her forehead. Thanks, babe. I need to run. Big day. Wait, your lunch. But he was already halfway out the door. I'll grab something at the office. Don't worry about it. The door closed behind him, and Sharon stood in the kitchen holding his lunch bag, with the note still attached. He never forgot his lunch. She always made it. He always took it. Mom, can you sign my permission slip? Maya appeared at her elbow, holding out a crumpled paper. Sharon signed it automatically, her mind elsewhere. Mom. What, baby? You signed it Sharon Adams, but it needs to say parent or guardian. Sharon looked down at the paper. She had signed her maiden name. She hadn't been Sharon Adams in 14 years. She was Sharon Adams Jackson now. Why had she written her maiden name? Sorry, honey, I'll fix it. She crossed it out and signed correctly, but her hand trembled slightly. Jordan appeared, backpack half open and dragging on the floor. Dad forgot his lunch again. Is his girlfriend texting him? The room went very still. Sharon turned slowly. What did you say? Jordan looked up, completely innocent. Dad's always on his phone now. Maya says he probably has a girlfriend. Maya's eyes went wide. Jordan! I was joking. God, you're such a baby. That's enough, Sharon said, her voice sharper than she intended. Your father does not have a girlfriend. He's been working very hard on an important project, and he's stressed. That's all. Understand? Both kids nodded. Now get your things. We need to leave in 5 minutes. The morning routine continued, but Sharon's mind was spinning. Jordan's innocent comment, the new cologne, the forgotten lunch, the shower that stopped and started, the way Dwayne had been distant for weeks now, claiming exhaustion, working late, showering as soon as he got home. No, she was being paranoid. Her mother had planted these seeds of doubt, and now her imagination was running wild. Dwayne loved her. He told her every day. Just this morning he had said she was beautiful. Last night they had made love, and it had been good. Real. Connected. But had it? Sharon drove the kids to school, made appropriate conversation, kissed them goodbye. Then she sat in her car in the parking lot, staring at nothing. She pulled out her phone and called Ramona, her best friend since college. Hey girl, Ramona answered, cheerful. What's up? Am I crazy? Probably. About what specifically? Sharon laughed, but it sounded hollow. Never mind, just having a weird morning. Sharon, Talk to me. It's nothing, really. Just, do you ever get a feeling something's wrong but you can't put your finger on what? There was a long pause. Sharon, is everything okay with you and Dwayne? Yes, of course. Why would you ask that? No reason. Just, you sound off. I'm fine. Everything's fine. They talked for a few more minutes about nothing important. Then Sharon hung up. She looked at herself in the rearview mirror. She was 38 years old. Still beautiful, her mother said, though Sharon sometimes wondered. She had laugh lines now, grey hairs she plucked out religiously. Her body had changed after 2 kids, softer in places that used to be firm. Was she still attractive to Dwayne? Did he still want her? Stop it, she told herself firmly. This is crazy talk. She drove to work at the community centre where she was a senior social worker. She had been on track to be director once, before she stepped back to support Dwayne's career. Maybe she would get back to that someday, maybe after the kids were older. The day passed in a blur of client meetings and paperwork. Sharon tried to focus but kept checking her phone. Dwayne usually texted her around lunch. Today, nothing. She texted him, "How did the presentation go?" No response. An hour later, "Thinking about you. Love you." No response. By 3 o'clock, Sharon was genuinely worried. She called his office. His assistant answered. "Hi, this is Sharon, Dwayne's wife. Is he available?" "Oh, Mrs. Jackson, he's been in meetings all day. The presentation went great, though. He's probably still celebrating." "Celebrating?" "Yeah, a bunch of them went out for lunch to toast the deal. He should be back soon if you want me to have him call you." "No, that's okay, thanks." Sharon hung up. He was out celebrating and hadn't told her, hadn't invited her, hadn't even texted to share the good news. Stop it. He's busy. He's allowed to celebrate with his colleagues. But the unease wouldn't leave. Sharon picked up the kids from school, made dinner, helped with homework. At 6:30, Dwayne texted, "Running late, 8 already. Don't wait up." Sharon stared at the message. No, "I love you." No, "Miss you." Just a cold, practical update. She fed the kids, cleaned up, supervised baths, and bedtime. By 9 o'clock, she was sitting alone in the living room with a glass of wine, staring at the Christmas tree lights and wondering when her husband would come home. He walked in at 10:45. "Hey, babe." He kissed the top of her head, already heading for the stairs. "I'm beat, going to shower and crash." "How did it go?" Sharon called after him. "Great. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Too tired now." He was showering again, even though he had showered that morning. Even though he had just been in meetings all day, not working out or doing anything that would require another shower. Sharon sat very still, listening to the water run upstairs, and felt something inside her chest crack open just a little. Her phone buzzed. A text from Ramona. "Sharon, I need to talk to you. Can you meet me tomorrow morning? It's important." Sharon's fingers hovered over the keyboard. "What's wrong?" The 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally. "Not over text. Can you meet me? 10 a.m. at Rosewood Cafe. Please come alone." Sharon's heart was pounding now. "Ramona, you're scaring me." "I know. I'm sorry. Just please meet me. I need to show you something." Sharon typed back, "Okay, I'll be there." She set down her phone and looked up at the ceiling, hearing Dwayne moving around in their bedroom above her. The man she had loved for 14 years. The man she had given everything to. The man she trusted more than anyone in the world. And for the first time in their marriage, Sharon felt a cold whisper of doubt settle into her bones. Whatever Ramona needed to show her, Sharon had a terrible feeling it was going to change everything. She finished her wine and sat alone in the dark, watching the Christmas lights blink on and off, like a warning she had been too blind to see. Chapter 2. The Photographs. Sharon arrived at Rosewood Cafe 15 minutes early, her stomach twisted in knots. She had barely slept, lying next to Dwayne in bed while he snored peacefully, completely unaware that his wife was staring at the ceiling, wondering if everything she believed about her life was a lie. This morning had been worse. Dwayne woke up cheerful, whistling in the shower, talking about how the presentation had gone perfectly and the merger was almost finalized. He kissed her goodbye with what seemed like genuine affection. Sharon watched him leave and felt like she was watching a stranger. Now she sat at a corner table, gripping her coffee cup until her knuckles ached. Through the window, she saw Ramona's car pull up. Her friend sat in the driver's seat for a long moment, her head bowed, before finally getting out. That was when Sharon knew. Whatever Ramona was about to show her was bad, really bad. Ramona walked in, her eyes red and swollen like she had been crying. She slid into the booth across from Sharon without a word. "Ramona, you're scaring me." "I'm so sorry," Ramona whispered. "I prayed I was wrong. I prayed it was someone who just looked like him, but it wasn't." "What are you talking about?" Ramona pulled out her phone with shaking hands. "Last night, I was at dinner with Trevor at Riverside Steakhouse. You know, the expensive place downtown." Sharon nodded, her heart hammering. "I saw Dwayne there. At first I was going to come over and say hi, but then I saw he wasn't alone." Ramona's voice cracked. "Sharon, I'm so sorry." She turned her phone around and Sharon's world stopped. The first photo showed Dwayne sitting at an intimate table in a dimly lit corner. Across from him was a blonde woman, younger, maybe late 20s, wearing a dress that showed too much skin for December. They were leaning toward each other, laughing. "Maybe it's a work dinner," Sharon heard herself say, but her voice sounded far away. "Keep looking." Sharon swiped to the next photo, Dwayne feeding the woman a bite of chocolate cake, her mouth open, accepting it, smiling, his thumb brushing her lower lip. The next photo, his hand on her thigh under the table. The next photo, them standing in the parking lot, the woman pressed against a car, Dwayne's body covering hers, kissing her like he was drowning and she was air. The timestamp on the photos read 6:47 p.m. Sharon remembered. Yesterday, December 19th. Dwayne had texted her at 6:30. "Dinner meeting running late. Don't wait up." He had come home at 10:45, showered immediately, and crawled into bed beside her. This morning he had kissed her goodbye and told her he loved her. "Sharon, say something." But Sharon couldn't speak. Her throat had closed completely. She swiped through the photos again, studying the woman. Pretty, young, carefree, everything Sharon wasn't anymore. "Who is she?" Sharon finally managed. "I don't know, I'm sorry. I should have followed them or confronted him or something, but I froze. I just took the pictures and left because I felt sick." Sharon set the phone down carefully like it might explode. Her hands weren't shaking, they were perfectly still. That was strange. Shouldn't she be shaking, crying, screaming? Instead, she felt nothing, a vast, empty nothing. "Sharon, talk to me. What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking," Sharon said slowly, "that I need to check our bank accounts." "What? Right now, can you help me?" Ramona looked confused but pulled out her laptop. "Okay. Do you know your login information?" "No. Dwayne always handles our finances. But I have his email password. We've always shared everything." Sharon laughed, a hollow sound. "At least I thought we did. It took 20 minutes to reset passwords and access their accounts." With each screen that loaded, Sharon felt that empty space inside her chest grow wider. Their primary checking account, normal bills, mortgage, utilities, groceries, their savings account, depleted. What should have been nearly $200,000 was down to $63,000. "Where did it go?" Ramona whispered. Sharon opened their credit card statements. Her inheritance money from her father's death 3 years ago had been in a separate account, money she was saving for the kids' college, for their future, for emergencies. That account was almost empty. Sharon clicked through transactions, her eyes scanning with growing horror. The Roosevelt Hotel, 5 nights in Miami. Last month, Cartier jewelry store, $4,200. 2 months ago, flowers delivered weekly to an address downtown. Every Friday for 11 months, monthly rent payments, $2,800, an apartment Sharon had never heard of. Restaurants, hotels, jewelry, lingerie, perfume, tens of thousands of dollars, gone. Her father's money, her children's future, spent on another woman. "I'm going to be sick," Sharon said, and she meant it. She ran to the bathroom and vomited into the toilet, heaving until there was nothing left. When she came back, Ramona was crying. "Sharon, what are you going to do?" "I'm going to go home," Sharon said, her voice eerily calm. "And I'm going to ask my husband who she is." "Sharon, wait. Maybe you should think about this. Talk to a lawyer first. Get your ducks in a row." "My ducks in a row? My husband is fucking another woman with my dead father's money, and you want me to wait?" The words came out louder than Sharon intended. People at nearby tables turned to stare. "I just mean, I know what you mean. But I can't sit here knowing what I know and do nothing. I need to hear him say it. I need to hear him try to lie to my face." Sharon grabbed her purse and headed for the door. Ramona called after her, but she didn't stop. She got in her car and drove home on autopilot, her mind strangely quiet. Dwayne's car was in the driveway. He was working from home today, he had said, catching up on emails after the successful presentation. Sharon walked in through the front door and found him sitting at the kitchen table with his laptop, a sandwich beside him that he had made himself because she hadn't been home to make it for him. He looked up and smiled. "Hey, babe, how was coffee with Ramona?" Sharon stood in the doorway studying him. He looked so normal, so innocent. How did he do it? How did he look at her with those lying eyes and pretend everything was fine? "Who is she?" The smile faltered. "What?" "The blonde, the one you were with last night at Riverside Steakhouse, the one you were feeding cake to, the one you were kissing in the parking lot. Who is she?" Dwayne's face went through a rapid series of expressions. Shock, guilt, fear, and then, so quickly Sharon almost missed it, calculation. "Baby, what are you talking about?" "Don't." Sharon's voice cut like ice. "Don't you dare lie to me. I have pictures. I have bank statements. I have an apartment lease with your name on it. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Who is she?" Dwayne stood up slowly, his hands raised like he was approaching a dangerous animal. Okay, let's just calm down and talk about this rationally." "Rationally? You want rational?" "I found out my husband is cheating on me and has stolen tens of thousands of dollars from our children's college fund to pay for it, and you want me to be rational?" "Sharon, you're clearly upset and you're not thinking clearly. Answer the question." "Fine, yes, I've been seeing someone. Her name is Hillary. But it's not what you think." "Not what I think. You were kissing her." "I know, and that was wrong, but Sharon, you have to understand. We've been having problems for months. You're always tired, always stressed. We never talk anymore." Sharon felt like she had been slapped. "We've been having problems." "We?" "Yes. You're cold, Sharon. Distant. I've been lonely in my own marriage for over a year, and you didn't even notice." "I've been cold? I make your lunch every morning. I pack little notes telling you I believe in you. I support your career. I raise your children. I run this entire household. And you remind me of it constantly. I sacrifice my career for you, Dwayne. I could have been director by now, Dwayne. Do you know what that feels like? The constant guilt?" Sharon stared at him, unable to believe what she was hearing. "So this is my fault? You cheated on me because I made you feel guilty?" "I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying we both contributed to the breakdown of this marriage. And yes, maybe I handled it wrong by talking to someone else, but you pushed me to it." "Talking to someone? You're calling it talking. You spent $60,000 on her." Dwayne's face hardened. "That's our money. Money I earned." "Money you earned? I put you through business school. I worked 2 jobs while you studied. That inheritance was from my father. Your father who never respected me, who always made me feel like I wasn't good enough for you." "Don't you bring my father into this. He's part of this. You've never really let me be the man of this house. It's always been your money, your decisions, your way. Maybe if you had respected me more, I wouldn't have needed to find someone who actually appreciates me." The gaslighting was so smooth, so practiced, that Sharon felt herself waver. Was he right? Had she been controlling, critical? Had she driven him to this? No, that was crazy. She had loved him completely, supported him unconditionally, given him everything. "I want to see your phone." she said quietly. What? Your phone. Right now. Sharon, that's an invasion of privacy. An invasion of privacy? You're sleeping with another woman and you're talking to me about privacy. Dwayne's jaw clenched. Fine. You want to see my phone? Here. He grabbed it off the table and thrust it at her. But you won't find anything. I'm not stupid. Sharon took the phone and tried to open it. Password protected. What's the code? I'm not giving you my password. Dwayne, give me the password. No. I have a right to privacy, Sharon. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean... The apartment downtown, what's that for? He hesitated. Just for a second, but Sharon caught it. That's a corporate apartment. For the Denver team when they're in town. It comes out of our department budget. Really? Because the lease has your personal name on it, not the company's. I don't know what you're talking about. You're clearly confused. The jewelry purchases, $4,200 at Cartier 2 months ago. You said that was my Christmas present. It is. Then where is it? I haven't picked it up yet. They're engraving it. Engraving what? A necklace. With your name. Sharon stared at him, watching him lie so easily, and something inside her broke. Get out. What? Get out of my house right now. Pack a bag. You have 30 minutes. Sharon, you're being hysterical. We need to talk about this like adults. I gave you a chance to tell the truth, and you lied to my face. You're still lying, so get out before I call the police and tell them you stole $60,000 from me. Dwayne's face changed. The mask dropped completely. You call the police and I'll tell them you're having a mental breakdown, that you've been unstable for months, that I've been worried about leaving the children alone with you. Sharon felt ice water flood her veins. You wouldn't. Try me. I've already talked to a lawyer, Sharon. I know my rights. You kick me out and I'll file for divorce tomorrow claiming you're an unfit mother. I'll get custody. I'll get the house. And you'll end up with nothing. They stared at each other across the kitchen that Sharon had cleaned 1,000 times, in the house she had made into a home. And she realized she was looking at a stranger. No, worse than a stranger, an enemy. I want a divorce, Sharon whispered. Fine. But you're not going to like how this ends. Dwayne grabbed his laptop and his phone. I'll send someone for my things. And Sharon, you might want to think carefully about what you say to people. Slander is a serious accusation. You make me look bad and I'll sue you for everything you have left. He walked out, leaving Sharon standing alone in the kitchen. She stood there for a long time, listening to the silence, before her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. A photo attachment. Sharon opened it with shaking hands. It was a picture of a text conversation between Dwayne and someone labeled H-Baby. The messages were from earlier that morning, after he had left their bed. Dwayne, she suspects something, might need to move up our timeline. H-Baby. What timeline? Dwayne, the one where I file for divorce, claim she's unstable, get custody in the house. Then you and I can finally be together for real. Just need to be patient a little longer. H-Baby, I'm tired of being patient. You said you'd leave her months ago. Dwayne, I will, I promise. Once I have everything in order. She won't get a penny. Trust me. Sharon's phone slipped from her hands and clattered to the floor. He had been planning this. For months. Maybe longer. This wasn't a mistake or a moment of weakness. This was calculated, premeditated. He was going to destroy her and take everything, and she had given him the ammunition by confronting him without proof, without preparation, without a plan. Sharon sank to the kitchen floor and finally let herself cry. But even through the tears, a cold clarity was forming in her mind. She had made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but she wouldn't make another one. If Dwayne wanted a war, she would give him one, and this time she would be ready. Chapter 3. The War Begins. Sharon sat on the kitchen floor for exactly 15 minutes, crying until her throat was raw. Then she stopped. She stood up, washed her face at the sink, and called Ramona. He's gone, Sharon said when her friend answered. I kicked him out. Oh, thank God. Sharon, I'm so proud of you. Ramona, I made a mistake, a huge mistake. What do you mean? I confronted him before I had a plan, before I talked to a lawyer, before I protected myself, and now he's going to destroy me." Sharon told her about the threats, about Dwayne's claim that he had already spoken to a lawyer, about the text messages showing he had been planning to leave her all along while positioning himself as the victim. "That son of a—" Ramona took a breath. "Okay, we fix this. Right now. What do you need?" "A lawyer, a good one, someone who can fight back." "I know someone, Milton Torres. He's a family friend, gentle, fair, believes in amicable divorces." "No," Sharon's tone was firm. "I don't want amicable. I want someone who destroys him." There was a pause. "Sharon, I understand you're angry, but think about the kids. A messy divorce will hurt them. The kids are already hurt. Their father is a liar who was planning to claim their mother is crazy so he could steal their home. I'm not going to play nice while he burns my life down." Another pause. Then, "There's someone else. Grace Okonkwo. She's intense, expensive. She doesn't do friendly divorces. She does scorched earth." "Perfect. Can you get me her number?" "Sharon, are you sure? Once you go nuclear, there's no coming back." "He went nuclear first. I'm just returning fire." Ramona texted her the contact information. Sharon called immediately, expecting to leave a message. Instead, a woman answered on the second ring. "Grace Okonkwo. Ms. Okonkwo, my name is Sharon Adams Jackson. I need a divorce attorney. Today. Right now, if possible." "Slow down. Tell me what happened." Sharon told her everything. The photos, the bank accounts, the confrontation, Dwayne's threats, the text messages showing he had been planning this. When she finished, Grace was quiet for a moment. Then, "Can you be at my office in 1 hour?" "Yes." "Bring every document you can find. Bank statements, credit card bills, tax returns, mortgage papers, marriage certificate, birth certificates for your children, everything." "And Mrs. Jackson?" "Yes? Don't talk to your husband. Don't text him. Don't communicate at all. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Understand?" "I understand." Sharon spent the next hour tearing through filing cabinets and desk drawers. She photographed everything with her phone, then printed copies. Her hands no longer trembled. Her mind was clear. The crying was done. Now it was time to fight. Grace Okonkwo's office was in a sleek high-rise downtown. The woman who greeted Sharon was in her early 50s, wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than Sharon's monthly mortgage. Her handshake was firm, and her eyes were sharp. "Sit." Sharon sat. Grace spread the documents across her desk, studying them with the intensity of a surgeon examining an X-ray. "How long have you been married?" 14 years. We have 2 children. Maya is 13, Jordan is 10. "And you discovered the affair yesterday?" "Yes, my friend saw them together at a restaurant." "Did you confront him immediately?" Sharon winced. "Not immediately. I checked bank accounts first, found out he'd spent tens of thousands of my inheritance on her. Then I confronted him this morning." "And he threatened you?" "He said he'd already talked to a lawyer, that if I kicked him out, he'd claim I was unstable and get custody of the kids." Grace looked up. "Has he ever hit you?" "No." "Threatened you physically?" "No." "Prevented you from leaving the house? Monitored your phone? Isolated you from friends or family?" "No, nothing like that." "Good. That makes things cleaner." Grace made a note. "But you made several mistakes." Sharon felt her stomach drop. "I know. You confronted him without evidence secured. You didn't consult a lawyer first. You kicked him out of the marital home without a legal separation agreement. And worst of all, you let him know you're onto him, which gives him time to hide assets and build his case." "I know," Sharon said again, her voice smaller. "However." Grace looked up, and there was something almost predatory in her smile. "He made bigger mistakes." "What do you mean?" "He threatened you. He admitted to the affair. He admitted to spending marital funds on his mistress. And most importantly, those text messages you showed me, the ones where he discusses his plan to destroy you and take everything, those are gold. But I shouldn't have that text. Someone sent it to me anonymously. I don't care. We have it now. And it shows premeditation. It shows he's been planning to defraud you of marital assets while painting you as mentally unstable. That's bad, Mrs. Jackson. Very bad for him. Sharon felt a flicker of hope. So what do we do? First, you're going to file a restraining order. Not because he's physically dangerous, but because he's financially dangerous. We'll ask the court to freeze all marital assets immediately so he can't hide money or sell property. Can we do that? With what you've shown me, absolutely. Second, I'm going to petition for emergency temporary custody of the children. You'll get a hearing within a week. He said he'd claim I'm unstable. Let him try. I'll call in character witnesses, your employer, your children's teachers, your doctor. We'll bury him in testimony about what a devoted mother you are. Sharon felt tears prick her eyes again. He's going to make this ugly, isn't he? Probably. But here's what you need to understand, Mrs. Jackson. Divorce isn't about being nice. It's not about being fair. It's about protecting yourself and your children. Your husband has already shown you who he is. Believe him. I can't believe this is happening. Yesterday morning I thought we had a good marriage. Now I'm sitting here planning to go to war with the man I loved for 14 years. Grace's expression softened slightly. I know it's hard, but think of it this way. You didn't start this war. He did. Months ago, probably longer, when he decided to betray you. You're just defending yourself. Sharon nodded slowly. What's next? Next, we file paperwork. Today. Tomorrow I'll send a process server to wherever your husband is staying. By end of week, we'll have court dates scheduled. And Mrs. Jackson? Yes? It's going to get worse before it gets better. He's going to fight dirty. He's going to lie. He's going to try to manipulate you through the children. You need to be ready for that. I will be. Good. Grace stood and extended her hand again. Welcome to the fight. Sharon shook it and left the office feeling different than when she'd arrived. Not better exactly, not happy, but focused, clear, determined. Her phone rang as she walked to her car, an unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Hello? Is this Sharon Jackson? A man's voice. Who is this? My name is Gregory Vaughan. I'm an attorney representing your husband in your divorce proceedings. Sharon's blood went cold. How did you get this number? Mrs. Jackson, I'm calling as a courtesy. My client is willing to discuss an amicable settlement if you're willing to be reasonable. I have legal representation. You can contact my attorney. Mrs. Jackson, if you insist on making this contentious, you should know that my client is prepared to file several motions that may not be in your best interest, including a motion for primary custody of your minor children based on concerns about your mental stability. Sharon felt rage surge through her. You tell your client that if he wants a war, I'm happy to give him one, and you can tell him that I have documentation of every penny he stole from me, every lie he told, and every threat he made, so if he wants to play dirty, I'll bury him. She hung up before he could respond, and immediately called Grace. He's already attacking, Sharon said when Grace answered. His lawyer just called me. What did you say? I told him to talk to you, was that right? Perfect. And Mrs. Jackson, don't answer any more unknown numbers. In fact, change your number entirely. We don't want him or his attorney contacting you directly. Should I be worried about the custody thing? No, it's a scare tactic, very common. They're trying to intimidate you into settling for less. Don't fall for it. I won't. But after she hung up, Sharon sat in her car for a long time, staring at her phone. A text came through. From Dwayne. She should have blocked him, but hadn't yet. This didn't have to be ugly, Sharon. You're the one making it this way. Think about the kids. Sharon stared at the message, at the audacity of him trying to manipulate her even now, and something inside her hardened completely. She typed back one word. Blocked. Then she did exactly that. She drove home and walked into her house. The house Dwayne had left just hours ago. The house that suddenly felt different, lighter, like something poisonous had been removed. Sharon looked around at the home she had built, the life she had created, and made a promise to herself. She would not let him destroy her. She would not let him take her children, or her home, or her dignity. She would fight with everything she had, and she would win. Chapter 4. The Setup. The next morning, Sharon woke up alone in her bed for the first time in 14 years. The space where Dwayne used to sleep was empty and cold. She lay there for a moment, testing how it felt. Better. It felt better. She got up, made coffee for one, and didn't pack anyone's lunch. The kids were still asleep. School didn't start for another hour. Sharon stood at the kitchen window, watching the sun rise, and felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. Her phone buzzed. A text from Grace, sent at 6 in the morning. Paperwork filed. Process server delivering to him today. Court hearing scheduled for next Tuesday. Be ready. Sharon texted back, "Thank you." Then another text came through, from a number she didn't recognize. "Mrs. Jackson, this is Terrell Washington. I'm a private investigator hired by Grace Okonkwo. I need to meet with you today. Are you available?" Sharon's pulse quickened. "Yes. When and where?" 9 a.m. Grace's office. Don't be late." At 9 exactly, Sharon sat across from Terrell Washington, a man in his 40s with kind eyes and a serious expression. Grace sat beside him. "Mrs. Jackson, I've been investigating your husband for the last 18 hours, Terrell began without preamble, "and I need to show you what I've found." He opened a laptop and turned it toward her. On the screen was a woman Sharon recognized from Ramona's photos. The blonde, Hillary. Her name is Hillary Connolly. She's 29 years old. She works in marketing at your husband's company. They've been involved for approximately 11 months. Sharon's stomach twisted. 11 months? Yes. But Mrs. Jackson, she's not the first. Sharon's breath caught. What? Terrell pulled up another file. 3 years ago, your husband had an affair with a woman named Bianca Reeves in Atlanta. It lasted 6 months. It ended when her husband found out and confronted your husband. Your husband paid him $15,000 to keep quiet. Sharon felt like she might throw up. $15,000? Of our money? Yes, it's documented as a consulting fee in your tax records from that year. I signed those tax returns, Sharon whispered. I had no idea. There's more. Terrell pulled up another file. Last year, your husband had a brief relationship with a co-worker named Jess Kimura. She was transferred to Seattle, and the relationship ended. But during those few months, he spent approximately $8,000 on her. Sharon couldn't breathe. How many? How many women? That we know of. 3, including Hillary. But I suspect there may have been others. This whole time, Sharon said, her voice breaking. Our whole marriage, he's been cheating on me the whole time. Grace reached across and squeezed her hand. I know this is devastating, but this also helps our case. We can establish a pattern of infidelity and financial deception. There's something else, Terrell said carefully. Something worse. Worse? Sharon couldn't imagine how it could be worse. Your husband has been planning this divorce for at least 8 months. I found emails to attorneys, consultations about asset protection, research into claiming spousal abandonment. He's been building a strategy to leave you with as little as possible. Terrell turned the laptop toward her again. Sharon read email after email from Dwayne to various lawyers, asking about how to hide assets, how to claim his wife was mentally unstable, how to minimize child support payments. One email, dated 6 months earlier, made her blood run cold. I need to get out of this marriage, but I'm not leaving with nothing. She's been controlling our finances for years, and I want to make sure I get what I deserve. What's the best strategy for claiming she's been financially abusive to me? Sharon read it 3 times before she could process what it said. He was going to claim I was financially abusive? I put him through school. I supported us for years. I know, Grace said, but this is good for us. It shows premeditation. It shows he's been planning to defraud you while living in your home, sleeping in your bed, pretending to love you. How is this good? Sharon demanded. This proves my entire marriage was a lie. It's good because it makes him look terrible to a judge. And Mrs. Jackson, I need you to understand something. This man is not the person you thought he was. He's a liar, a manipulator, and he was planning to destroy you while you loved him completely, so we're going to use that against him. Sharon felt tears streaming down her face, but kept her composure. Tell me what to do. First, Grace said, we need to get you ready for the emergency custody hearing. That's in 5 days. The judge will want to hear from you about why you should have primary custody. Because I'm their mother. Because I've been there for every school play and doctor's appointment and homework crisis while he was off sleeping with other women. Good. We'll document all of that. I want you to make a list of every school event you attended that he missed. Every time you took the kids to the doctor alone. Every parent-teacher conference he skipped. We're building a narrative. What about the kids? Sharon asked. Do they have to testify? Not at this hearing, but eventually yes. Maya is 13. A judge will likely want to hear her preference. Sharon closed her eyes. This is going to destroy them. Your husband is destroying them, Grace corrected. You're protecting them. Don't forget that. Terrell closed his laptop. There's one more thing you should know. That apartment your husband has been renting. Hillary lives there, has been for 6 months. He moved his mistress into an apartment he's paying for with your money. Sharon laughed, but it sounded hysterical even to her own ears. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? We're going to put together a timeline, Terrell said. Every affair, every dollar spent, every lie told. By the time we're done, the judge is going to see exactly who Dwayne Jackson really is. Good, Sharon said. I want everyone to see who he really is. After the meeting, Sharon sat in her car in the parking garage, gripping the steering wheel so hard her hands hurt. 11 months with Hillary, 3 years ago with Bianca, last year with Jess, and probably others Terrell hadn't found yet. Their entire marriage had been a performance. Every I love you, every anniversary dinner, every time he'd held her hand or kissed her or made love to her, knowing he was betraying her. She had been so stupid, so blind, so trusting. Her phone rang. Her mother. Hi, Mama. Sharon, baby, what's going on? I've been calling Dwayne and he won't answer. Is everything okay? Sharon took a breath. Mama, I need to tell you something. Dwayne and I are getting divorced. Silence. Then, what happened? He's been cheating on me. For months, maybe years. I just found out. Her mother's tone went hard. That motherfucker. Despite everything, Sharon almost smiled. Her mother never cursed. I never trusted him, her mother continued. Always thought he was too smooth, too charming. Men like that are always hiding something. You never said anything. You loved him. What was I supposed to do? I hoped I was wrong. You weren't wrong. Where is he now? Gone. Moved out. I filed for divorce yesterday. Good. You need anything? You want me to come stay with you? No, Mama, I'm okay. The kids are okay. We're going to be fine. Those babies know. Not yet. I'm telling them tonight. You want me there for that? Sharon thought about it. Yeah, actually I do. I'll be there at 6. And Sharon? Yeah? You're stronger than you know. You're going to get through this. Sharon hung up and finally let herself cry, not the hysterical sobs from yesterday, but deep, wrenching grief for the life she thought she had, the marriage she believed in, the man she loved who never really existed. She cried for 20 minutes. Then she wiped her face, fixed her makeup, and drove home. But instead of going inside, she sat in her driveway and did something she should have done days ago. She opened her laptop and started researching. The company Christmas party. It was scheduled for tomorrow night, December 22nd, at the Four Seasons Hotel downtown. Sharon had attended every year for the past 12 years. She knew the venue, knew the format, knew exactly how these parties went. An idea began forming in her mind. Dangerous, risky, but potentially devastating. She called Grace. I need to ask you something, Sharon said. The company Christmas party is tomorrow. Dwayne will be there, and I'm willing to bet Hillary will be too. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I want to show up, not to cause a scene, but to remind him and everyone else exactly what he threw away. Grace was quiet for a moment. That's bold. Is it stupid? No, actually, it might be brilliant. But Sharon, you need to be smart about this. No confrontations, no yelling, no emotional outbursts. What if I did something else? Sharon said slowly. What if I brought him something as a gift? What kind of gift? Sharon's mind was racing now. Divorce papers, evidence of his affairs, all of it wrapped up in a box, hand-delivered in front of everyone he works with. Grace laughed. Mrs. Jackson, that's diabolical. Is it legal? Serving papers? Absolutely. Doing it publicly? Unconventional, but not illegal. Then I want to do it. Sharon, think carefully. Once you do this, you can't take it back. It will humiliate him. It might also anger him enough to fight even dirtier. He's already fighting as dirty as he can. And Grace, I'm tired of being the victim. I'm tired of being ashamed. He's the one who should be ashamed. So I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what he did. There was a long pause. Then, okay, I'll prepare the documents. But Sharon, you need to be prepared for the fallout. This won't just affect him, it'll affect you too. I know, and I'm ready. That night, Sharon sat down with Maya and Jordan and their grandmother and told the children the truth about their father. Maya cried and said she hated him. Jordan cried and asked if it was his fault. Sharon held them both and promised them that no matter what happened, they would be okay. After the kids were in bed, Sharon stood in front of her closet looking at dresses. Tomorrow night, she would walk into that party. Tomorrow night, she would hand Dwayne the divorce papers and the evidence of his betrayal. Tomorrow night, she would take back her power, and everyone would see exactly who Dwayne Jackson really was. Sharon pulled out a red dress and laid it on the bed. War was coming, and she was ready. Chapter 5. The Christmas Party Detonation. Sharon spent December 22nd preparing for battle. She went to the salon and got her hair done. Nothing dramatic, just cleaned up, styled, polished. She went to a boutique and bought the red dress she'd seen online. Elegant, sophisticated, devastating. She got her nails done, her makeup professionally applied. When she looked in the mirror that evening, she barely recognized herself. She looked powerful. Grace arrived at Sharon's house at 6:30 with an elegantly wrapped box. Everything's inside, Grace said. Divorce petition, evidence of all 3 affairs, bank statements showing the stolen money, timeline of his planning. And one more thing. What? Grace smiled. A flash drive with copies of everything, because paper can be ignored. Digital evidence lives forever. Sharon held the box carefully. It was heavier than she expected. Inside was the systematic destruction of Dwayne's life. Are you sure about this? Grace asked. No, but I'm doing it anyway. Good. I'll be there in the back. If things go sideways, I'll intervene. But Sharon, this is your moment. Own it. Sharon's mother came downstairs. You look beautiful, baby. I look like someone about to ruin Christmas. You look like someone taking back her power. Maya appeared in the hallway, watching. Mom, you're really going to do this? Yes. Good. He deserves it. Jordan was already asleep, blissfully unaware that his mother was about to blow up his father's life in front of hundreds of people. Sharon kissed Maya's forehead. I'll be home late. Be good for Grandma. Mom? Maya's tone was soft. Make him pay. Sharon smiled. Oh, baby, I plan to. The Four Seasons was lit up like a Christmas wonderland. Sharon pulled into the parking garage, her hands rock solid on the wheel, the wrapped box sitting on her passenger seat. She sat in her car for 5 minutes, breathing, centering herself. Then she picked up the box, checked her makeup one last time, and walked toward the hotel entrance. Grace was waiting in the lobby. You look incredible. I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's normal, but Sharon, once you walk in there, don't hesitate. Confidence is everything." Sharon nodded, and they walked toward the ballroom together. The party was already in full swing. Music, laughter, holiday cheer. Sharon recognized faces, Dwayne's colleagues, executives, their spouses, people she had known for years. Several heads turned when she entered. Whispers started immediately. "Is that Sharon? I thought they were separated. What is she doing here?" Sharon ignored them. She scanned the room, looking for Dwayne. And there he was, by the bar, laughing with a group of colleagues, and standing next to him, wearing a tight red dress that matched Sharon's, was Hillary. The younger woman had her hand on Dwayne's arm. They looked comfortable together, like a couple. Sharon felt rage surge through her, but she kept her face neutral. Grace touched her elbow. "I'll position myself near the exit. Go." Sharon took a breath and started walking through the crowd, the wrapped box in her hands. People stopped talking as she passed. The music seemed to get quieter. Dwayne saw her when she was 10 feet away. His face went from shock to panic to fury in seconds. He immediately started toward her, trying to intercept her before she reached his group. "Sharon, what the hell are you doing here?" "Hello, Dwayne." "Merry Christmas. You need to leave. Now. In a minute. I have something for you." Hillary had noticed the commotion and was watching with confused eyes. She looked so young, so naive. Sharon almost felt sorry for her. Almost. "Sharon, I'm serious. If you cause a scene, I'm just delivering a gift." Sharon turned to the group of people watching with fascinated horror. "Hi, everyone. Sorry to interrupt. I just needed to give my husband something." She held out the wrapped box. Dwayne didn't take it. "I don't want anything from you." "Oh, but you do. Trust me." Sharon set the box on the bar next to them. "Open it." "No?" "Dwayne, open the box." People were gathering now, forming a circle around them. Someone had turned down the music. The entire ballroom seemed to be watching. Dwayne's boss, Richard, pushed through the crowd. "Sharon, it's good to see you. Maybe we should—" "Open it, Dwayne," Sharon repeated, her tone like ice. "Or I will." Dwayne's jaw clenched. He grabbed the box and tore off the wrapping paper. Inside was a legal-sized document folder. On top, a flash drive. Dwayne opened the folder and his face went white. "What is this?" "Your Christmas present." Sharon let her voice carry through the silent room. "Divorce papers. I'm filing tomorrow, but I wanted you to have them tonight, at the party where you thought you could parade your mistress around without consequences." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Hillary's eyes went wide. "Mistress? Dwayne, what is she talking about?" Sharon turned to her. "Hillary, right? We haven't been properly introduced. I'm Sharon, Dwayne's wife, of 14 years, mother of his 2 children, the woman whose inheritance money he spent on you. He said you were divorced. He lied, just like he's lying to you right now about having a future together. Just like he lied to Bianca Reeves 3 years ago. Just like he lied to Jess Kimura last year." Dwayne grabbed Sharon's arm. "Stop. Stop talking right now. Don't touch me." Sharon jerked away. "You lost that right when you decided to destroy our marriage." Richard stepped between them. "Dwayne, maybe you should take this outside." "No." Sharon looked directly at Dwayne's boss. "Richard, you should know something. Your VP has been using company events as cover for his affairs. Those business trips to Miami, Atlanta, Denver, he was with women, not clients. Women. He's been filing false expense reports and using corporate resources for personal relationships." Richard's face hardened. "Sharon, these are serious allegations." "They're not allegations. They're facts." Sharon pulled the flash drive out of the box. "Everything's on here. Hotel receipts, restaurant bills, emails planning the trips with his mistresses, text messages, bank statements. It's all documented. And Richard? He's been embezzling money through a fake LLC to hide assets from me. I'm sure your accounting department would be very interested in reviewing Jackson Consulting Group." The room was dead silent. Dwayne looked like he might have a stroke. "You bitch!" "No." Sharon's voice cut through his. "I was your wife, your partner, your support system. You threw that away. So now I'm your nightmare." She turned to Hillary. "He's all yours, honey. Good luck. You're going to need it." Then Sharon turned to address the entire room. People were holding up phones, recording. This was going to be all over social media by morning. I know most of you have known Dwayne and me for years. Some of you are probably wondering why I'm doing this publicly. The answer is simple: because he was planning to publicly destroy me. He was going to claim I was mentally unstable, that I was an unfit mother, that I was controlling and abusive. He was going to take my children and my home and leave me with nothing while he played the victim. Sharon paused, letting that sink in. So I wanted you all to know the truth before his lies could take root. Dwayne Jackson is a serial cheater, a liar, an embezzler, and a manipulator. He spent my father's inheritance money on his mistresses. He planned our divorce for months while sleeping in my bed. And he was going to commit perjury to win custody of children he barely knows. She looked directly at Dwayne. You wanted a war? You got one. And I just won the first battle. Sharon walked toward the exit. The crowd parted for her like the Red Sea. Behind her, she heard chaos erupting. Hillary crying, Dwayne yelling, Richard demanding Dwayne come to his office immediately. Grace met her at the door. That was perfect. I think I'm going to be sick. You can be sick in the car. Right now we need to leave before Dwayne does something stupid. They hurried to the parking garage. Sharon's hands were shaking now, adrenaline flooding her system. Did I just ruin my life? Sharon asked. No, you just saved it. Sharon drove home in a daze. When she walked in, her mother took one look at her face and poured her a large glass of wine. How bad was it? I told an entire room of people that my husband is a cheating embezzler. Good. Mama, I humiliated him in front of everyone he works with. He humiliated you for 11 months while he slept with another woman. You're even. Sharon's phone started buzzing. Text after text. From Beverly, Richard's wife. Sharon, that took courage. We're on your side. From colleagues. We had no idea. We're so sorry. You're so brave. From numbers she didn't recognize. Saw the video. You're my hero. That man is trash. You're amazing. Video. Sharon's stomach dropped. What video? Her mother held up her phone. Honey, you're viral. Someone had posted the whole confrontation on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It was spreading. The comments were overwhelmingly supportive. This is what happens when you underestimate a woman. The way she didn't cry or scream, just stated facts. Queen. He fucked around and found out. Sharon watched the video, seeing herself from the outside. She looked composed, confident, powerful. She didn't recognize that woman, but she liked her. Her phone rang. Dwayne. Sharon declined the call. He called again and again and again. Finally, he left a voicemail. Sharon listened to it on speaker so Grace and her mother could hear. Sharon, what you did tonight was unforgivable. You've destroyed my career, my reputation, everything I've worked for. I hope you're happy. Because you just made this divorce 10 times uglier. My lawyer is going to bury you. You'll lose the kids, the house, everything. This isn't over. The voicemail ended. Sharon looked at her mother and Grace. He's going to come after me with everything he has. Let him, Grace said. Because we have something he doesn't. What? The truth. And a room full of witnesses who just saw exactly who he is. Sharon's phone buzzed again. An email from Richard, Dwayne's boss. Mrs. Jackson, I've just spent the last hour reviewing the evidence you provided. Dwayne has been placed on immediate administrative leave pending an investigation. His building access has been revoked, and he's been instructed not to contact anyone at the company. I'm deeply sorry for what you've endured. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Richard. Sharon read it 3 times. He's suspended, she said softly. And that's just the beginning, Grace said. Tomorrow the divorce petition gets filed. In 1 week we go to court for custody. And Sharon, after what you just did, after everyone saw his reaction, after the video evidence, we're going to win. That night Sharon lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying the evening in her mind. She had walked into that party terrified. She had walked out victorious, but the war wasn't over. It was just beginning. Chapter 6. The Unexpected Betrayal. Sharon woke up the day after the Christmas party to her phone ringing at 7 a.m. She grabbed it groggily, saw it was Grace, and answered, "Have you looked at the news?" "What?" "No, I just woke up." "Turn on your computer. Search your name." Sharon stumbled to her laptop and typed, "Sharon Jackson Christmas Party." The first result was a local news article. Wife confronts cheating husband at company party. Viral video sparks conversation about financial abuse. The second, pharmaceutical executive suspended after wife's public accusations. The third, scorned wife's Christmas party revenge goes viral. There were hundreds of articles, thousands of social media posts. The video had millions of views. "Oh my God," Sharon whispered. "It gets better," Grace said. "Or worse, depending on your perspective. 3 other women have come forward claiming your husband was involved with them too. I'm vetting their stories now." 3 more? And Dwayne's company announced they're launching a full investigation into his expense reports and the fake LLC. If they find evidence of embezzlement, they're pressing charges. Sharon sat down hard. "This is insane. This is justice. Sharon, what you did last night. You gave voice to thousands of women who've been financially abused and gaslighted. You're a symbol now." "I don't want to be a symbol. I just want my kids to be okay." "They will be, because their mother is a warrior who just showed them what strength looks like." After Grace hung up, Sharon made coffee and tried to process everything. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Friend requests, interview requests, messages of support, and a few messages of hate from people who thought she should have handled it privately. Sharon ignored all of it and focused on what mattered: her children. Maya came downstairs first, already scrolling through her phone. "Mum, you're famous." "I know, baby. Everyone at school is talking about it. The video is everywhere. Are you okay with that?" Maya looked at her mother with something like awe. "Are you kidding? You destroyed Dad in front of everyone. It was epic." "Maya, this isn't a game." "I know it's not. But Mum, for years I watched you take care of him, make his lunch, support his career, believe in him. And he was lying to you the whole time. So yeah, I'm glad everyone knows the truth." Jordan appeared, rubbing his eyes. "Why's everyone talking about Dad?" Sharon pulled him into her lap. "Because Mom and Dad are getting divorced, and last night I told Dad's work friends about it." "Are people mad at you?" "Some people might be, but I had to tell the truth, baby." "Did Dad do something really bad?" Sharon chose her words carefully. "Yes, he lied to me, and he took money that wasn't his. And when I found out, I had to make sure everyone knew so he couldn't lie about it." Jordan processed this. "Is he going to jail?" "I don't know, honey." "Good, he should." The simple certainty in her 10-year-old's voice broke Sharon's heart. But then something unexpected happened. Jordan's phone buzzed. He looked at it and his face lit up. "Dad texted me." Sharon felt her stomach drop. "What did he say?" "He says he misses me. He says Mom is lying about him and he wants to see me. Can I go see him?" Sharon's blood ran cold. "Baby, let me see that." She read the text. It was worse than she thought. "Jordan, I miss you so much. Your mom is lying about me because she's angry we're getting divorced. But I love you and Maya more than anything. Can you come stay with me this weekend? We can play video games and get pizza. Don't tell your mom. She won't let you come." "Dad." Sharon felt rage surge through her. He was manipulating their 10-year-old child, telling him to lie to her, turning him against her. "Jordan, you can see your dad, but only during scheduled visits with supervision. And baby, your dad shouldn't have asked you to lie to me. That's not okay." Jordan's face fell. "But he misses me." "I know he does. But there are rules now because Dad and I are divorcing. The judge said he can see you every other Saturday with someone there to make sure everyone's safe." "Safe from what?" "Dad wouldn't hurt me." Maya appeared in the doorway. "Jordan, Dad cheated on Mum with multiple women and stole money from us. That's why they're divorcing." Mum's not lying. You don't know that. Dad said Mum is making it up. I saw the bank statements, Jordan. I heard them fighting. It's real. Jordan looked between his mother and sister, confusion and pain on his face. Then he ran upstairs and slammed his door. Sharon looked at Maya. I shouldn't have let you tell him like that. He needed to hear it. Dad's already trying to manipulate him. Sharon called Grace immediately. Dwayne just texted Jordan trying to arrange secret visits and telling him I'm lying. Grace's voice went hard. Forward me that text. That's parental alienation and violation of the custody order. We're filing a motion today. Grace, what if Jordan believes him? What if I lose my son? You're not going to lose him. Jordan is 10. He's confused and hurting, but he'll see the truth eventually. After Grace hung up, Sharon sat on her kitchen floor and finally let herself feel the full weight of what was happening. Her marriage was over. Her husband was a stranger. The video was everywhere, and now her own son was being turned against her. Had she gone too far? Had the public humiliation been a mistake? She thought about those people at the party, recording on their phones, posting online, making her a viral sensation. She had wanted justice, but at what cost? Her phone rang. Her friend Laura from book club. Sharon, I just saw the video. I can't believe you did that. I know it was wrong, publicly humiliating him like that, in front of his colleagues. That's cruel, Sharon. Whatever he did, that was too far. Sharon felt like she'd been slapped. Laura, he was cheating on me for years. I know, and that's awful, but you should have handled it privately. Now you've made yourself look vindictive and unstable. People are talking, Sharon, and not all of it is good. Laura hung up. Over the next hour, Sharon received 3 similar calls. Friends who thought she'd gone too far. People who believed in taking the high road and thinking of the children. By noon, Sharon had lost 4 friendships. She sat alone in her kitchen, wondering if she'd made a terrible mistake. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You're a bitter bitch who destroyed a good man. I hope you rot. Then another. Your husband deserves better than a vindictive cunt like you. The hate messages kept coming. Dozens of them. Strangers who had seen the video and decided she was the villain. Sharon turned off her phone and sat in silence. Maybe they were right. Maybe she had been too cruel, too public, too vengeful. Her mother found her an hour later, staring at nothing. What's wrong, baby? I think I made a mistake. Jordan siding with Dwayne. Laura and 3 other friends think I went too far. I'm getting hate messages calling me a bitch. Maybe I should have handled this privately. Her mother sat down beside her. Do you remember what your father used to say? Which thing? Never let someone who played you once get the chance to rewrite the story. Sharon, you didn't go nuclear for fun. You did it because Dwayne was already planning to destroy you. If you'd stayed quiet, he would have controlled the narrative, made himself the victim, made you the villain. You just made sure everyone saw the truth first. But what if the truth makes me look like the villain anyway? To some people it will, because some people think women should stay quiet and take abuse with grace. But baby, you're not responsible for their comfort. You're responsible for your truth. Sharon wanted to believe her, but the doubt wouldn't leave. That night, Jordan refused to come to dinner. He stayed in his room, texting with Dwayne, and wouldn't speak to Sharon. Maya tried to talk to him, but he yelled at her to leave him alone. Sharon stood outside his door, listening to her son cry, and felt her heart break. She had won the battle at the Christmas party, but at what cost? Her son hated her, her friends had abandoned her, strangers called her a bitch, and Dwayne was using all of it to paint her as unstable. Sharon went to bed that night wondering if she'd destroyed not just Dwayne's life, but her own. Chapter 7. The Counterattack. Dwayne's POV. Dwayne Jackson sat in his hotel room, staring at his laptop screen, watching the video for the 100th time. There he was, at the Christmas party, watching his entire life collapse. And there was Sharon, looking like some avenging angel in that red dress, calm and cold and devastating. He hated her. God, he hated her. But he didn't know what he felt. Dwayne closed the laptop and poured himself another scotch. 3rd one tonight. He was drinking too much lately, but who could blame him? His phone rang. His mother. Dwayne considered not answering, but his mother would just keep calling. "Hi, Mama." "Dwayne Marcus Jackson." Her voice was ice. "What have you done?" "Mama, I don't want to talk about... I just watched a video of your wife, your beautiful, devoted wife, telling a room full of people that you cheated on her with multiple women and stole her inheritance money. Tell me that's not true." Dwayne rubbed his face. "It's complicated." "Complicated? Boy, did you cheat on that woman or not?" "Yes, but did you take her money?" "It was our money." "Did you plan to claim she was crazy so you could take her house and her children?" Dwayne went silent. "Oh my God. You did." "Dwayne, how could you?" "Mama, you don't understand. Sharon and I, we weren't happy. She was cold, distant, always nagging me about something. I felt suffocated. So you decided to betray the woman who put you through school, who took care of me when I was dying of cancer, who raised your children while you were off doing God knows what? I didn't mean for it to happen." "Which time? Because apparently there were 3 women. Maybe more." Dwayne felt shame burn through him. His mother had always been his champion, his defender. Hearing her disappointment was worse than Sharon's rage. "I don't know what happened," he said quietly. "I don't know when I became this person." "You became this person when you decided your happiness was more important than your integrity." She hung up on him. Dwayne threw his phone across the room. Everything was falling apart. The company had suspended him pending investigation. His lawyer said criminal charges were possible if the embezzlement allegations were proven. His reputation was destroyed. The video had millions of views and everyone was calling him a narcissist, a sociopath, a monster. He wasn't a monster. He was just a man who made mistakes, wasn't he? Dwayne thought back to when he first met Sharon. She had been so beautiful, so smart, so kind. He remembered thinking she was too good for him. Maybe she was. He remembered their wedding, her smile as she walked down the aisle, the way she looked at him like he hung the moon. When did he stop appreciating that? When did he start taking her for granted? When did he become the kind of man who could lie to her face while planning to destroy her? Dwayne's phone rang. "Hillary," he answered. "Hi." "Don't hi me. You told me you were divorced." "I know, I'm sorry." "Sorry? I quit my job, Dwayne. I moved across the country for you. I believed everything you told me." "Hillary, please let me explain." "There's nothing to explain. You're a liar, and I was stupid enough to believe you." She paused. "Your wife seems like a good person. I'm sorry I helped hurt her." "She's not innocent in this." "Shut up, just shut up. I hope you lose everything. You deserve it." She hung up. Dwayne sat in silence, the hotel room closing in around him. He pulled up his emails and scrolled back through messages he'd sent to attorneys, planning his exit strategy. He read his own words, planning to claim Sharon was mentally unstable. "She's been controlling our finances for years," he had written. "I need to make sure I get what I deserve." What he deserved. Sharon had paid for his MBA. She had supported him through career changes and failures and late nights. She had given up her own career ambition so he could chase his. And he had repaid her by stealing her inheritance and planning to take her children. Dwayne felt something he hadn't felt in months, maybe years. Shame. Real, genuine shame. He opened his laptop and started typing an email to Sharon, then deleted it. What could he possibly say? What words could undo what he'd done? His lawyer called. "Dwayne, we need to talk strategy. The evidence Sharon presented is damning. Her lawyer is filing discovery requests for everything. Phone records, email accounts, financial statements. If we fight this, it's going to get ugly." "How ugly?" "Criminal charges ugly. Your company found discrepancies in your expense reports going back 3 years. They're talking to prosecutors." Dwayne felt cold. How bad could it be? If they prove embezzlement? Prison time. Maybe not a lot, but some. Prison. Dwayne had never considered that possibility. What are my options? Settle. Give Sharon what she wants. Plead guilty to the financial crimes and hope for probation. Start cooperating with investigators. Show remorse. Remorse? Dwayne laughed bitterly. You want me to show remorse? I want you to stay out of prison. Can you do that?" After his lawyer hung up, Dwayne sat in the dark hotel room and tried to figure out when his life had gone so wrong. He thought about Jordan texting him earlier, asking if he could come visit. Dwayne had told him yes, told him not to tell Sharon, tried to use his own son as a pawn in this war. What kind of man does that? He thought about Maya refusing to talk to him at all, about the custody evaluator's report saying both children preferred to live with their mother, about the supervised visitation order, because the judge thought he might be a flight risk. He thought about Sharon making his lunch every morning with little notes of encouragement. He thought about telling Hillary that Sharon was bitter and crazy when Sharon had never been anything but loving. Dwayne went to the hotel bar and ordered another scotch. A woman at the bar recognized him. "You're that guy from the video." Dwayne didn't respond. "Your wife is a badass. What you did to her, that's unforgivable. You don't know the whole story." "I know enough. You cheated on her with multiple women, stole her money, and tried to make her look crazy. What else is there to know?" She picked up her drink and moved to the other end of the bar. Dwayne drank his scotch and ordered another. He thought about his father, who had cheated on his mother when Dwayne was 12. He remembered his mother crying, remembered hating his father for hurting her, and now, here he was, doing the exact same thing, becoming the man he had sworn he'd never be. Dwayne stumbled back to his room around midnight and passed out on the bed. He dreamed of Sharon, not the Sharon from the Christmas party, cold and powerful, but the Sharon from their wedding day, smiling at him like he was the best thing that ever happened to her. In the dream, she said, "You're going to break my heart, aren't you?" And Dream Dwayne said, "Never. I promise." He woke up with tears on his face. But even in his shame and regret, Dwayne couldn't let go of his anger. Sharon had humiliated him, destroyed his career, made him a viral villain. He might be wrong about everything else, but he was right about this. She had gone too far, and he was going to make her pay for that. Chapter 8. The Custody Hearing. The emergency custody hearing arrived on a Tuesday morning. Sharon, dressed carefully in a navy suit, pulled her hair back, minimal makeup. Professional, calm, together. But inside, she was terrified. What if the judge believed Dwayne? What if they took her children away? What if Jordan's anger at her counted against her? Her mother drove with her to the courthouse. Maya had begged to come, but Sharon refused. She wouldn't make her daughter watch this. The courtroom was cold and formal. Sharon sat at a table with Grace while across the aisle, Dwayne sat with Gregory. He looked smaller somehow, diminished. Good. The judge entered. Everyone stood. Then the battle began. Gregory called witnesses first, trying to paint Dwayne as a devoted father worried about his unstable wife. Dwayne's mother testified, "My son loves those children more than anything. He's made mistakes, but he's a good father." Grace cross-examined, "Mrs. Jackson, when was the last time your son attended one of his daughter's art shows?" Dwayne's mother hesitated. I'm not sure." "When was the last time he went to his son's soccer game?" "I don't know exactly." "Do you know what grade his children are in?" "Well, of course." "What grade, Mrs. Jackson?" She couldn't answer. Then Dwayne took the stand. He testified about how much he loved his children, how Sharon had made it difficult for him to see them, how she had deliberately turned them against him with the Christmas party stunt. "Your Honor, I made mistakes. I accept that, but I never stopped loving my family. Sharon is the one who destroyed our marriage by going nuclear instead of trying to work things out. And now she's poisoning my children against me." Grace stood for cross-examination. "Mr. Jackson, you testified that Mrs. Jackson destroyed your marriage by going nuclear. But didn't you send texts to your mistress 11 months ago discussing your plan to leave your wife and take everything?" "That was just exploring options." "Options for what exactly?" "Divorce, which you claim you didn't want." Dwayne shifted uncomfortably. "I was unhappy. I was considering possibilities." You were planning to leave your wife while stealing her inheritance money to fund relationships with other women. That's not considering possibilities. That's fraud. I didn't steal. You spent $143,000 of her inheritance on affairs. How would you characterize that? It was marital property. Actually, Your Honor, I'd like to enter into evidence the codicil to Sharon's father's will, which specifically states that inheritance money is for Sharon's personal use and the children's education. Using it for any other purpose violates the terms of the will. Grace handed copies to the judge. Mr. Jackson, Grace continued, you claim Mrs. Jackson has alienated your children from you. But isn't it true that you texted your 10-year-old son asking him to visit you secretly and telling him not to tell his mother? Dwayne's face went red. I just wanted to see my son. You asked a child to lie to his mother and violate a custody order. That's not wanting to see your son. That's parental manipulation. Gregory objected, but the damage was done. Then Sharon took the stand. She testified about the children, about her involvement in their lives, about every school event, every doctor's appointment, every homework struggle and triumph. Gregory cross-examined viciously. Mrs. Jackson, you publicly humiliated your husband in front of hundreds of people. Would you say that demonstrates good judgment? Sharon met his eyes. I would say it demonstrates self-defense. Your client was planning to claim I was mentally unstable to steal my children and my home. I made sure everyone saw the truth before he could spread his lies. You don't think that was vindictive? I think it was strategic and effective. Mrs. Jackson, your son Jordan has expressed a desire to live with his father. Doesn't that concern you? Sharon felt the knife twist. Of course it concerns me. My son is 10 years old and his father is manipulating him. But I trust that eventually Jordan will see the truth. Or perhaps he already sees it. Perhaps he sees a mother who destroyed his father out of spite. Sharon kept her composure. Jordan sees a mother who refuses to be a victim, and someday he'll understand that. Finally, Maya testified. Sharon had tried to stop it, but Maya insisted. The 13-year-old walked to the stand, head high, and swore to tell the truth. The judge spoke gently. Maya, I know this is hard, but I need to ask you some questions about your parents. Is that okay? Yes, Your Honor. Do you love your father? I used to. What changed? I found out he's a liar, that he cheated on my mom for years, that he stole money from our college fund, that he was planning to claim my mom was crazy so he could take our house. Maya's voice didn't waver. I thought my dad was a good person who made mistakes, but good people don't plan to destroy their families. Maya, has your mother ever told you to say negative things about your father? No. Mom never talks bad about Dad. She always says he loves us and that the divorce is between them, not about us. Everything I know I found out myself. If the court gave you a choice, where would you want to live? With my mom, 100%. What about seeing your father? I don't want to see him at all, but if I have to, supervised visits are fine. I don't trust him. Gregory tried to suggest Sharon had manipulated Maya, but Maya shut him down hard. My mom didn't manipulate me. My dad lied to my face for my whole life. There's a difference. After all testimony was heard, the judge called a recess to review evidence. Sharon sat in the hallway, exhausted. Maya sat next to her. You did great, baby. I told the truth. I know. Thank you for standing up for us. An hour later, they were called back into the courtroom. The judge looked stern. I've reviewed all testimony and evidence. This is one of the more clear-cut cases I've seen. Sharon held her breath. Mr. Jackson, you've demonstrated a pattern of deceit, financial abuse, and manipulation. You planned to defraud your wife of marital assets while claiming she was mentally unstable. You attempted to use your minor child as a pawn by asking him to violate custody orders. While I don't doubt you love your children, love is not sufficient for custody. Dwayne started to speak, but the judge silenced him. Mrs. Jackson has demonstrated consistent, devoted parenting. She has been present for these children in ways you have not. Therefore, I'm granting Mrs. Jackson primary physical custody. Mr. Jackson, you will have supervised visitation every other Saturday." Sharon felt tears building but kept them back. "Additionally, I'm awarding Mrs. Jackson 75% of all marital assets, including the marital home. Mr. Jackson will reimburse Mrs. Jackson for her inheritance that was spent, $143,000 plus interest. He will pay child support in the amount of $4,000 per month. He will pay Mrs. Jackson's attorney fees." Dwayne looked like he might be sick. "Furthermore, I'm referring the evidence of financial fraud to the district attorney's office for potential criminal prosecution. Mr. Jackson, you should consider yourself fortunate that you're not in jail today." The gavel fell. Sharon stood on shaking legs. Grace hugged her. Her mother hugged her. Maya hugged her. They had won. Everything. Outside the courthouse, Sharon felt relief wash over her. But also something else. Doubt. She had won. But at what cost? Jordan still wasn't speaking to her. 4 friends had abandoned her. Strangers sent her hate mail daily. And Dwayne, broken as he was still her children's father. Had she been right to destroy him so completely? Sharon didn't know, but it was too late to take it back now. Chapter 9. The Reckoning. 6 months passed like a strange dream. Sharon went to work, came home, cooked dinner, helped with homework. She existed in a routine that felt both familiar and completely foreign. Dwayne faded into the background of their lives. He saw the kids every other Saturday with a court supervisor. Maya went reluctantly, spent visits on her phone. Jordan went hopefully each time, came home disappointed when Dwayne couldn't remember what grade he was in. The divorce was finalized in March. Sharon received the papers and felt nothing. She filed them away and moved on, but victory had a price. Her promotion came through. Director of Social Services, salary $115,000, $20,000 less than expected. The board cited recent publicity concerns and professional image. The viral video had cost her. In April, a literary agent reached out. Sharon met her over coffee. "Teach other women how to protect themselves. You learned the hard way. Help them avoid your mistakes." Sharon signed a contract a week later. The advance was $12,000. Small, modest. She put it in the kids' college fund. Her friendship circle had shrunk. Laura never spoke to her again. Neither did Jennifer or Kimberly. They thought she'd been too cruel, too public, too vengeful. It hurt more than Sharon wanted to admit. In June, Sharon's sister Denise visited with wine and old photo albums. "I'm sorry," Sharon said, "for taking all of Dad's money, for letting him manipulate you. I'm sorry too, for holding a grudge for 8 years when you were going through hell. We're both pretty terrible at this." "Yeah, but we're all we've got." They split the remaining inheritance evenly. Denise paid off student loans. Sharon launched a small non-profit called Invisible Theft. The first fundraiser was in July. Sharon spoke to 35 women about her story. "I thought I had a good marriage, but my husband was systematically taking everything while I smiled and packed his lunch." After the speech, a woman approached. "My husband handles all our money. I don't even have my own bank account. Is that normal?" "Normal? Maybe. Healthy? No." Sharon gave her a card. "Call this number. We'll help you." By September, Invisible Theft had helped 22 women. Sharon's book published in October. It didn't hit bestseller lists. Sold about 8,000 copies the first month. She did 3 local radio interviews, 1 podcast. No major morning shows, no viral moment. Just steady, quiet work. The reviews were mixed. Powerful and important. 3 stars. Too focused on revenge, not enough on healing. 2 stars. Sharon read them and wondered if they were right. In November, she ran into Dwayne's mother at the grocery store. They stood in produce, staring awkwardly. "How are the children?" "They're good. Maya's doing well in school. Jordan joined chess club. Dwayne asks about them. He's in therapy, real therapy." "Good for him. You destroyed him, you know. Completely." Sharon felt anger flare. "No, he destroyed himself. I just refuse to go down with him." They parted without another word. That night, Sharon wondered if she was the villain in someone else's story. In Dwayne's story, she was the bitter wife who went nuclear over a mistake, who destroyed a good man out of spite. In her children's story, that was still being written. Maya had forgiven her. But Jordan was still angry, still confused, still wanting the father he thought he had. Sharon walked to Jordan's room. He was asleep, 10 years old and carrying wounds that might never heal. She thought about the Christmas party, the video, the viral moment. Had it been worth it? She'd won custody, the house, justice. But she'd lost friends, opportunities, certainty that she'd done the right thing. Sharon opened her laptop, an email from the prosecutor. "Mrs. Jackson, Mr. Jackson has agreed to a plea deal. He'll plead guilty to wire fraud and tax evasion. Sentencing next month. Recommended sentence, 12 months in federal prison plus probation." 12 months. Dwayne would go to prison. Sharon waited to feel satisfaction. Victory. Something. Instead, emptiness. Because he was still her children's father. And they would grow up knowing their dad went to prison because of what their mom revealed. Was that justice? Or just more collateral damage? Sharon closed the laptop and tried to sleep. But doubt followed her into dreams. Chapter 10. The Woman She Became. 18 months after the divorce, Sharon stood in a community center preparing to speak to women about financial abuse. Not thousands, not a conference hall. 32 women in a basement room with folding chairs. This was her life now. Small victories, quiet work, no viral moments. Her book had sold 15,000 copies total. Enough to matter, not enough to change the world. She spoke at libraries and community centers. She ran her non-profit on a budget so tight, she sometimes paid expenses herself. She wasn't famous, just persistent. Maya was 15 now, thriving in high school, planning to study law. "Someone has to protect women like you did." Jordan was 12. He saw Dwayne monthly, unsupervised now after prison and probation. Their relationship was cordial but distant. Jordan had stopped blaming Sharon, but hadn't fully forgiven her either. "Did you have to do it that way?" he'd asked once. "The party, the video?" "I don't know," Sharon answered honestly. "I thought it was the only way. Maybe I was wrong." "But we're okay now." "Are we?" Jordan considered. "Yeah, we are, but it hurt getting here." "I know, baby. I'm sorry." Sharon never remarried. She dated occasionally, Kenneth for months, then Leon for a while. Both ended amicably. She wasn't opposed to love, just not desperate for it. She'd learned she was complete alone. The non-profit struggled financially. In 2 years, 93 women helped, not thousands. Each one mattered, but Sharon sometimes wondered if it was enough. She still got hate mail, people who thought she'd been too cruel. She also got thank you notes from women she'd helped. Those kept her going. One evening, closing the office, someone knocked. Dwayne stood there. They hadn't spoken directly in over a year. "I wanted to talk, just talk. Can I come in?" Sharon hesitated, then stepped aside. "I've been in therapy for 18 months, Dwayne said, "trying to understand what I did, why." Sharon said nothing. "I wanted to say I'm sorry, really sorry. You deserved to hear it." "Okay. I destroyed the best thing in my life. Took you for granted. Planned to destroy you when you'd only supported me." Sharon watched him. He looked older, genuinely remorseful. But she felt nothing. "Why tell me now?" "Because Jordan asked me why I did it, and I couldn't answer. My therapist has theories, ego, insecurity, entitlement. But I just chose to be selfish, and it cost me everything." "Yes, it did." "Do you hate me?" "No. I don't feel anything except tired. I'm tired of thinking about it. I just want to move forward." "Do you regret the party? The video?" Sharon had asked herself this 1,000 times. "I regret it hurt the kids, that Jordan struggled, that I lost friends. But do you regret exposing me?" Sharon met his eyes. "No, because you planned to destroy me first. I defended myself. If that makes me vengeful, then I'm vengeful. But I'm still standing. And you're not. Dwayne nodded. Fair enough. He paused at the door. I'm glad you're okay. You deserved better than what I gave you. I know. After he left, Sharon sat alone. She thought about who she used to be, the woman who believed in fairy tales. That woman was gone, and Sharon didn't miss her. She'd become someone else, someone harder, someone who'd lost friends and questioned choices, but also someone who'd survived, who'd fought back, who'd built a life on her own terms. Was it perfect? No, but it was hers. Sharon locked up and drove home. Her mother was visiting, cooking dinner, Maya doing homework, Jordan playing video games. This was her life, messy, imperfect, real. How was your day, Mom? Maya asked. Good. Helped a woman open her own bank account for the first time in 20 years. That's amazing. Sharon looked around at her home, her family, her life rebuilt from ashes. She thought about the Christmas party, that moment she handed Dwayne the box. She thought about every battle since, and she realized something. She wouldn't change it, because all of it, the ugly, messy, complicated all of it, had led here, to this moment, this life, this version of herself who didn't need validation or fairy tales to feel whole. Sharon had learned the most important lesson. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. She didn't think about Dwayne anymore, didn't wonder, didn't care. She had moved on, built something imperfect but entirely hers. That indifference, that peace, that freedom, that was her victory, not the courtroom ruling or viral video or destroyed reputation, but the simple fact that she woke up every morning and chose herself. Sharon went inside to have dinner with her family. Tomorrow she'd help another woman leave. Next week, another library speech. Next month, maybe her book would sell another 1,000 copies. Maybe not. It didn't matter, because victory doesn't always look like triumph. Sometimes it looks like survival, like showing up, like choosing yourself, even when it's hard. Sharon sat at dinner with her mother, daughter, son, and felt something she hadn't in years. Contentment, not happiness, not euphoria. Just quiet, steady contentment with the life she'd built from wreckage. Her phone buzzed. A text from a woman she'd helped months ago. Sharon, I just signed the lease on my own apartment. First time living alone in 23 years. Thank you for showing me it was possible. Sharon smiled. You did it yourself. I just reminded you that you could. After dinner, Jordan approached. Mom, do you think Dad really changed? Sharon chose her words carefully. I think he wants to. I think he has regret. But changing is hard. Some damage can't be undone. Your dad and I will never be friends, but I hope he becomes better, for himself, for you and Maya. But not for you. No, I don't need anything from him anymore. Jordan nodded. I get it. That night, Sharon stood on her porch, looking at stars. She thought about who she used to be, who believed sacrifice meant love, who made herself small for someone else. She thought about who she'd become, flawed, complicated, still figuring it out, someone who'd made mistakes, lost friends, hurt her son, but also someone who'd stood up when it mattered, who'd refused to be erased, who'd fought with everything she had. Perfect? No. Clean victory? No. A price paid? Absolutely, but still standing, still fighting, still whole, and that was enough. She checked on the kids, climbed into bed. As she drifted off, she thought about what Maya had asked. Would you ever write about what really happened? Maybe someday. What would you say? I'd say revenge and justice sometimes look identical. That standing up might cost you friends. That destroying someone who tried to destroy you doesn't always feel good. That victory is messy and you're not sure if you did right. Would you say you regret it? No. I'd say I survived it. And sometimes survival is the victory. Sharon closed her eyes. In the morning, she'd wake and keep going, keep building, keep fighting for women who needed someone to show them it was possible. The woman who believed in fairy tales was dead. The woman who rose wasn't perfect, wasn't unscathed, wasn't sure she'd done everything right. But she was free, and that was the only ending that mattered. The end. Sharon's nonprofit operates in 3 states now, helping 200 women annually. Small, underfunded, but it exists. Her book sold 28,000 copies. It didn't change the world, but it helped some. That was enough. Maya is 17, applying to colleges for law. Jordan is 14. His relationship with Dwayne is complicated. They see each other monthly. Jordan loves his father, but doesn't quite respect him. Dwayne works as a mid-level analyst, lives alone, dates casually, sees a therapist weekly. He's trying to be better, though he'll never fully repair what he broke. Sharon hasn't remarried. She dates occasionally but isn't looking for completion. When people ask if she regrets her divorce approach, Sharon gives an honest answer. I regret the pain it caused my children. The friendships lost, that it became a spectacle. But do I regret fighting back? No. The alternative was letting him destroy me quietly. I chose noise over erasure. Maybe that makes me vindictive, maybe strong, probably both. 4 years later, Sharon gives a talk at a women's conference. Not keynote, a breakout session, maybe 40 people. Everyone wants a neat story, perfect wife, monster husband, clear villains and heroes. But real life is messier. My ex-husband planned to destroy me while I loved him. Yes, I destroyed him back, publicly, completely. Some think I was right, some think I went too far. Here's what I know. I survived. My children survived. We're building a life that's ours. The fairy tale I imagined? No. Perfect? Not close, but real. Mine. And I'm proud. The greatest lesson isn't about revenge or justice, though those matter. It's this. You can't control how people see your story. Some call you hero, some villain, some both. But none of that matters as much as how you see yourself. I see a woman who refused to disappear, who made mistakes and owns them, who fought imperfectly, but fought. When I look in the mirror now, I don't see victim or villain. I see someone who chose herself, and that's the only validation I need. Modest applause. 40 people, no viral moment. But 3 women approach afterward. Each says Sharon helped them leave impossible situations. Sharon drives home alone, listening to music, thinking how far she's come. Not famous, not rich, not perfect happily ever after. Just free. She pulls into her driveway, sees lights on, knows her kids are waiting. This is the happy ending. Not revenge, not vindication, not public victory, just peace, wholeness, the knowledge she chose herself and survived the consequences. Sharon walks into her house, into her life, closes the door. The story is over. The living continues. And that's exactly how it should be. Sharon's non-profit continues. Her book remains in print. Her children grow. Dwayne exists in the background, a cautionary tale. Sharon wakes every morning, looks in the mirror, sees someone she's proud to be. Imperfect, complicated, flawed, human, but hers. And that was always the point.